Welcome to Hot Take That's Not Really a Hot Take. Today, I'm breaking down all the exciting matches from the World Cup round of 16 and predicting the quarterfinal matches. Let's go. So, Argentina versus Egypt. What a match. When Argentina went 2-0 up, I thought it was done. I thought Lionel Messi, the GOAT, was going home. Upset victory. But then, with 10 minutes to go, Lionel Messi, the GOAT, gets the assist. Now, Egypt are looking a bit shaky. And then, Lionel Messi, the GOAT, gets the equalizer. Now, there is the controversial talking points of Egypt having their second goal disallowed, but it was rightfully disallowed. The Egyptian players stepped on Argentinian players' foot. That was a foul. That was rightly disallowed. And a lot of people online are saying, what about Salah in the box? Salah was not fouled. The Argentinian defender tackled the ball and then Salah went into him and dropped. That, not a penalty any day. And then McAllister touching the Egyptian player who then went down like he'd been sniped was not a foul and did not need to be revisited by VAR. So I'm sorry, but justice was served. Yeah, justice was served. I'm not saying that top teams never get preferential treatment, but that there was not an example of preferential treatment. That was an example of Salah trying to buy a penalty and the referee rejecting it. So with the score at 2-2, Argentina go on the attack. And Enzo, you are not going to Real Madrid, but you are certainly going to the quarterfinals. 3-2, what a comeback. Because I thought, at 2-2, we may even get extra time, but Argentina were not interested in extra time. That was such a fantastic game. Lionel Messi, the GOAT. But I do think sooner or later, Argentina's luck is going to run out. Like Cape Verde was close. Egypt was close. I think if Argentina end up meeting my World Cup favorites and the team I've picked to win in England, I think England are going to have too much for Argentina. Because to me, it just seems like Argentina are Lionel Messi and not much more. I can't see them doing this all the way to lifting the World Cup trophy. I think they are going to come undone. But what an exciting match. And I've really liked this World Cup because in the knockout stages, normally teams become very low block, very defensive. But apart from Paraguay, all the teams in the last 16 have been going for it and have been trying to win. So that was an excellent match. Hats off to Egypt. They went out like champions. But the GOAT and Lionel Messi, right on to the next round. England versus Mexico. Before this match, a whole bunch of hype about the Aztec, a whole bunch of hype about altitude, right? And so this 82-game unbeaten run, which people are pointing to, people did not actually look at the teams they've played in this 82-game unbeaten run. They played Belgium and they played Brazil, right? But aside from that, they played Panama like 500 times. They played Venezuela. They haven't played any big teams. So yeah, the 82 games unbeaten sounds raw, sounds mad until you look at it and look at who that 82 consists of. It even consists of 3 games against the Brazilian under-23 team. Like, what are we doing? But what a match that was. England were deserved winners. Jude Bellingham, what a champion. What a champion. Jude Bellingham was on fire this game. Another thing that stood out to me about this game was Thomas Tuchel and his tactical decisions, right? So when England were 10-man down, he took off Saka. He brought on Dan Burn, who was excellent. Also, he took off Kane and brought on Morgan to help see out the game, which was excellent because I don't think Gareth Southgate would have ever taken off Kane. I don't think he would have ever done that. He would have been too scared of maybe going into extra time and maybe needing it for penalties. I think that is the key difference between England now and England of yesteryear is they have a world-class manager who is willing to make the brave tactical choices. And I think that was a key difference in that game. I think if Southgate is manager, Mexico equalize and takes the penalties. And once you get to penalties, anything can happen. But I think 3-2 was well-deserved. I think the penalties were penalties. But Jude Bellingham, what a player, what a player, what a match. So that was an excellent match. One of my favorite matches of this tournament so far. And a quick word before I get on to Brazil and Norway is Lionel Messi's greatness. How are you still this good at the age of 39? Do you know how mad that is? When Lionel Messi played in his first World Cup, Kylian Mbappe was 4. And that's who Lionel Messi is going band for band with in the Golden Boot race. Like, Lamine Yamal was not even born. The longevity is unprecedented. And the greatness which accompanies that longevity is mad. It's completely mad. And with that, I want to go on to Spain versus Portugal, which was the most boring match of this knockout stage. It just seemed like, the two teams kind of canceled each other out. Extremely boring match. But Moreno took his finish brilliantly. 1-0. Spain were the better team, but this was a boring match. But what I found interesting was Cristiano Ronaldo's comments after the match, which I thought was a bit weird. When he says, before Cristiano, Portugal had not won anything. With Cristiano, we've won 3 titles. And also, I think the Euro is on the same level as the World Cup. My guy, that's just not true. The Euros is not on the same level as the World Cup. That means Greece have also won a World Cup then, haven't they? Like, what are we talking about? And why is it always, when Portugal succeed, it's me, Cristiano. Is Cristiano Ronaldo the only reason Portugal ever win? Because when they won the Euros, in the final, he got injured and he wasn't on the pitch. So how did Cristiano Ronaldo contribute to the winning goal that won Portugal the Euros? He was not on the pitch. Like, that's a comment I expect a Cristiano Ronaldo fan to be making in the comment section of a TikTok. Not Cristiano himself to be saying that. I thought that was weird. But he's now retired from international football. You see, a lot of people think the issue for Portugal this World Cup was Ronaldo. I don't think it was Ronaldo, because if I'm Ronaldo, if the manager's going to pick me, I'm going to play. And I want to play. Like, what player is going to say to the manager, don't pick me? You know what I'm saying? I think the real issue was Martinez. But yeah, Spain won. The best team won. And so I'm happy for Spain to go through. Brazil versus Norway. Brazil historically struggle with crosses and headers. That's just their Achilles heel. Now, Bruno G's penalty miss, the stutter step should be banned. If you're not Neymar, you should not be allowed to do a stutter step penalty. So, anyway, Bruno G misses the penalty. Endrick should have scored. That second touch was horrendous. Endrick should have scored. And then Haaland, cross header. Norway take the lead. And then Ancelotti brings on Neymar. Crazy. And it's so obvious Neymar is injured. Neymar should have been nowhere near this World Cup, but he was here based on reputation. Like, people were complaining about Ronaldo starting for Portugal. The real big talking point was, why was Neymar even here? The man is clearly injured. Neymar can't even sprint. He was just jogging around. He was clearly injured, but they brought him because of reputation. Craziness. Brazil are 1-0 down. You bring on Neymar and play him up front and move Endrick to the right. What? That is crazy. Like, you're 1-0 down. You need urgency. You need to press and get the ball back. Neymar can't press. And leading up to the World Cup, Ancelotti says he sees Neymar in midfield. So how is he now playing as a centre forward? Neymar didn't even play centre forward in his prime. Yeah, so Neymar was centre forward for some strange reason, jogging from one defender to the next. Diabolical. I don't blame Neymar for that. I blame Ancelotti for, one, calling Neymar, and one, bringing him on when you're 1-0 down to play him up front and put Endrick on the right. So the Norwegian centre-backs no longer have to worry about Endrick's pace. That was ridiculous. So I think the blame for this exit rests squarely with Carlo Ancelotti and his tactical choices. And that's the thing about international management. You just can't go out and buy players. So Ancelotti cannot hit the transfer market and buy a striker. And now we're going to see, does this guy have the tactical nuance to get the best out of what he has? Because he cannot go out and buy. USA versus Belgium. Justice was served because Balogun should not have been playing. But it looks like Belgium took it personally and they got the job done, hammered them. But I think Belgium are better than USA and they would have beaten them regardless. They're the better team. The better team won. Justice was served. Well done, Belgium. Yeah, and then Colombia and Switzerland, not much happened during the game. Colombia had the better chances. But as is the case in football, if you don't take your chances will take you. And so Switzerland go through on penalties. Now, for the quarter-final predictions. France versus Morocco. I think France are going to have too much for Morocco. I think there'll be goals in this, but I do think France are going to win either 2-1 or 3-2. Spain versus Belgium. Spain have not conceded a goal in this tournament, and it's not going to start against Belgium. So I expect Spain to go through either 1-0 or 2-0, depending on how clinical the Spanish strikers are in this game. England, Norway. Even though Haaland is a beast, one of the best strikers in the world, I think England overall have a better team than Norway, and I expect England to go through either 2-0 or 2-1. Argentina versus Switzerland. Who knows, innit? Because Argentina struggled against Cape Verde, struggled against Egypt, but I always say, as long as they have the GOAT, they have a chance. So My prediction is Argentina to Switzerland 0. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of the round of 16 matches, and what are your predictions for the quarterfinal matches?